Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Kill Me Now. My guest is laughing, and that's what I want you to do, okay? Just so you know, it's fucking minus 400 degrees here in New York. The subways suck, and Trump is an asshole. But our guest today, I'm so excited. I've been dying to have her on for, a long time. And then it took, it's the scheduling and the...
Let's be honest, it takes a cataclysmic ending of my world as we know it in order for you to feel like I'm important enough to come on your
That is so not true.
I don't know, man.
That is so not true.
You never invited
Ladies
me
and gentlemen, that's not true!
When I had a job, you didn't invite me.
Okay. Can I just say something?
Yeah.
You suck. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Cat Greenleaf is here. Woo!
Sucking.
Cat Greenleaf. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cat Greenleaf. Oh, she's a Jew.
And so
Yeah.
are
Oh
you.
wait.
What?
I forgot my Jew bell. Wait,
You a
guys.
Jew
Sorry.
bell?
Yes. Anytime we talk about anything remotely Jewish.
What else do we talk about?
Well, I want everyone to know how Jews contribute to the world. So here we go. Cat Greenleaf is a Jew. Jew.
I am.
So, not married to a Jew, but a Jew. Are the kids Jews?
Of course they're
Jew.
Jew. But
Wait, two for the two kids.
Two
Okay.
Jews. Black Jews.
Yes.
I have who are gorgeous.
Right.
They sing aliyahs like you have no idea.
Oh, I bet.
And they are, so we've recently moved to Coney Island.
Right.
The only black Jews in our entire
Really?
neighborhood. Yeah. And the Jews don't consider us Jews. Correct. They won't even look at us.
Oh, you know what? Fuck them.
Fuck them! Right.
It's like that rabbi in Israel, the Orthodox rabbi, who's like, who said the people who died in Pittsburgh weren't really Jews. And
Makes me ill.
So it wasn't like a national. And it's like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
I couldn't agree with you more. Well, Orthodoxy of any, right? Of any sort.
No, there's the modern Orthodox, and they're so nice, and they're pro-gay.
I mean, like, anyone who's Orthodox about an opinion.
You mean like the,
I'm
obsessive.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so we have a lot to cover today. Cat Greenleaf, who I am so excited that you're here. I know you were born in White Plains, is that correct?
Yeah.
Jewish.
Jewish.
But you grew up in L.A. But back and forth?
No, I moved in 6th grade.
Oh.
I really feel like in my soul, and it's always been thus,
Yeah.
I'm a New York Jew. And I knew that.
Well, you sound like a New York Jew.
Right?
Yeah.
And anyway, no one else would have me. Like, in LA, they're healthy. Nobody drinks or smokes or curses or not for me. I had to be there because I was 12.
Right.
But the second I could beat a path out of there, I sure did. Some of my favorite people, actually, I only like one person in all of LA.
Okay, but like you had to move because of your parents?
Yeah, right.
What happened?
My dad started a company, started Merrill Lynch Realty, which was, it didn't last long. And my mom, believe it or not, worked for a company called Video Star that did, get ready, video conferencing.
Oh my God, that's so out of date, but that's so amazing.
50,000 trucks with satellites.
Right.
Which now,
Defunct.
2 seconds on your iPhone. Yeah, defunct.
So you have a younger sister, right?
I have an older sister.
Oh, an older sister who was adopted, correct?
Yes. Now, if it was yesterday, I would be like, I'm not talking about that whore. However, I did have a bit of a come to Jewish Jesus last night. Yep. And now I'm back talking to my family, and here's why. Not talking to them is exhausting.
Right. It takes more energy not to talk.
Right.
Because it takes space up in your head.
Right. And
now,
nobody wins.
now you can just fucking relax.
Totally.
So She's a whore.
She's a whore and an Uber driver.
Well, that's good.
I mean,
that's good for both professions.
Not business-minded, though, because if she was, she'd be driving that. So here's a true story that she and I were talking about before we stopped talking. She has struggled with her weight, and we were...
Duh.
Right, who hasn't?
Jewish.
But she's like, she's
Like,
a lot
is she
of
morbidly
struggle.
obese?
Yeah, no, I hope not morbidly, but she's up there,
right?
And I'm not talking out of school here because that's the thing,
right?
So I was talking to her about she should start a service, like a people walking service for other people who have.
Oh, that's a good idea. So they get together and like go for a walk,
right? Because she doesn't walk, and it's LA and the thing. Anyway, so she came up with the best idea. I'm like, we'll make a segment about it, and she goes, yeah, we can call it Fat Chat. Fat Chat, right?
I love it.
I love it too.
But you can't say that, right?
No, of course you can't say that because everyone thinks. By the way, everybody thinks that being fat is contagious, just like unemployment, which I learned this year by being unemployed and, by the way, packing on a bunch of weight thanks to Wellbutrin.
No, Wellbutrin's good for weight.
Well, not for me.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm better.
It's good for sex, so you can have an orgasm. No, because it was like, when I'm not on Wellbutrin, it's like 45 minutes later, I'm like, all right, let's just forget it.
Right. I mean, honestly, 45 minutes.
All right, I made that up. Okay, so.
If someone doesn't come within 5 minutes, I'm out.
It's annoying. I know, it's annoying when it takes a long time. But, remember when it was like all day, every day? It's like, okay, let me go to the bathroom. I'm going to get some water. Let's do it again.
Is that what we were tired from? Because my husband and I often talk about, what the fuck were we tired of on weekends? Like,
I know.
Now I can barely make it.
When a comic tells me they're tired and they have no kids, I'm just like, go fuck yourself.
Shut the fuck. Exactly.
So you lived in White Plains. So that's like where you went to public school?
Yeah. I went to. Sorry,
that's all right.
I went to public school at Central School in Mamaroneck.
Oh, Mamaroneck. That's very nice.
It was fantastic. And true story, I grew up staring across the water at my husband's backyard.
No fucking way.
Yes, we never met.
Michael Ray.
Wow.
Yeah,
so I lived like on the Jewish side.
Oh my God, that's Beshert. Okay, go ahead.
And he lived across the thing. It was literally.
You lived on which side?
Where the Jews are. Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then he lived where the wasps are.
Right.
And I literally used to think, who gets to live there?
Was the wasps area nicer than the Jews?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So, were you popular in school?
What a funny question, considering I would say no.
Right.
Only come to find out, and I can't say their names on air, but all the boys I dated and the stuff I did, they've all gone on to sort of great famous things, so I must have been cooler than I thought. You know what I mean?
But it's usually the people who go on to great things
who
are not popular. And so you might just be a good judge of character.
Well, or they were the only ones that would hang out with me.
Right.
Which is because I myself, by the way, drunken whore in high school.
No, we're not in high school. We're in White Plains still.
Sorry. Was I popular? No.
Did you go to summer camp?
Yes, which I lived for because it got me the fuck out of my house.
Right.
And it allowed me some freedom.
Right.
And some, got really into nature. So as you know now, I live also far into nature.
Right. You live, I know, right on the beach. In New York City.
Yep, Seagate and Coney Island. I also live upstate in Roxbury.
Right.
In the mountains. And I can't get far enough away from people.
Oh, same.
Right?
So, all right. So, grammar school, were you bat mitzvahed?
I was bat mitzvahed once I made it out to LA.
That's so
disastrous.
Moving at 11 is the worst for a girl. Did you have your period yet?
No, that happened when I got to LA, right around the same time as I gave my first blowjob, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's related! Now I'm going to get pregnant." And
how old were you?
15.
15?
I know.
That's young. I mean, that's old.
Thanks.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I mean
It is old. It's old, but that's what happened. And I think I was...
No, what?
Oops.
13.
Thank you. It was 13, and it was 15 that I lost my virginity.
Oh, okay, thanks. So, 13, right. You get your period, and you get bat mitzvahed.
Yeah.
So, but, if you moved when you were 11, right?
Yeah.
How old was your sister?
15.
Okay. That's fucking sucks for her.
Sucked. She ended up going to boarding school, and that sucked.
Yeah. That's
Not
bad.
easy. Listen, growing up, by the way, sucks. And
You know what? I was just in Kansas City, and this little girl came up to me. I was doing an NPR, Live from Here with Chris Thiele. And this mom and her daughter come up to me, and the daughter's name is Georgia Wolf. She's adorable, and she had a pad, and she drew pictures of everyone. Mine's adorable. I'll show it to you. I have it on my phone. And her mother said the kids are not being nice to her in school. And I was just like, I said, you know what? I went to school every single day. I got called Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Orca every day. And all those kids who get teased and who are different are the ones who break out and change the world. And I said, you're going to change the world. And those other kids are they're just assholes. They have nothing, but it's like, it's hard to tell a kid that. But it's like, I remember when I was younger, I spoke to a bunch of really tall girls who were just so awkward. And they were like so appreciative because it wasn't their mother going, it was like someone who had gone through it.
Yes.
And so it's just so fucking annoying that still fucking goes on. And it's even worse because of social media.
Oh my God. So okay. I have I want to start from the first thing you said, which is, I believe that if you're overly good looking, or you like elementary school, you might you're fucked. You're fucked.
I mean, go to Walmart and enjoy your job.
Because you have no impetus to learn.
And everyone write in that you were good looking and you don't work at Walmart, okay? Right. Or you do work at Walmart and I'm insulting you, okay? Yeah. So please send it in, baby. Go ahead.
I got that lady in Walmart with the Pringles can. Oh. With the whiskey. I mean,
I can't.
I thought it was great. So my point is that, like, I had a miserable upbringing, and I know my parents would hate to hear me say that, but I was diagnosed with clinical depression when I was 9.
Yes.
It was not...
I have that in my notes.
Yeah.
I said 11.
Oh, maybe it was 11.
Okay.
But, clearly I...
So how did they... But was it after you moved that you got the clinical depression or before?
Let me think. No, before. What happened was my grandma passed away when I was 7.
Right. And you were very close to her. I
was very close to her, and I just started... so here's the weird thing about me. I grew up in a Jewish family, but they don't believe in God. They just are Jewish, and I really believe in God and believed in, like, a bunch of stuff that I couldn't see, and my parents thought I was crazy. So that was a terrible intro to my life as a person who... Then my grandmother...
Wait, so they were Jews? Did they go to synagogue or anything?
Yeah,
and they didn't
believe...
Your dad was a cantor?
My grandpa.
Your grandfather was a cantor.
Fact.
And they went to shul, but they didn't. Wait.
Yeah.
I'm too into this conversation.
Yeah, still do.
And they don't believe in God.
Correct. You know how lonesome it is when you believe in God and
you have and you're a kid and you have no one. All right. So
it was tough.
So you had your grandmother and then she drops dead.
She drops dead, and I get really started thinking about what's on the other side, and which I now don't think about anymore because I'm still just trying to get to 7:00 at night.
Right.
But it was a lonesome, terrible time, and I remember thinking, "This is it. I'm going to just be sad forever," and I was resigned to that.
Right.
And then once we moved, it's like my life restarted again. So even though LA is evil, it wasn't then. It was possibility. It was new. I was new.
And you went to what neighborhood did you live in?
We lived in West LA, and I went to Brentwood School, which was a terrible fit. Yeah, right. Terrible fit for me. And then I went to Crossroads, which was...
Oh, that's a great school.
The best.
I did a benefit for them.
Yeah.
They're great. That's great.
It changed my life. It was fantastic. I also...
How old were you? Well, how old were you when you moved to Crossroads?
I was in 10th grade. Uh-huh. And basically what happened was Brentwood was so preppy, and it wasn't... It was a terrible, terrible fit.
Right.
But... Who cares? So then I moved over to Crossroads, got a job at Camp Beverly Hills, the sweatshirt shop.
Oh, my God.
So I was cutting class, which is why I hope I never have to send my kids to private school.
Right.
It was money that maybe wasn't as well spent as it could have been because I didn't show up.
Right.
But we did things like a mysteries class, and we had to sit in a sweat lodge, and I got to make out with my teachers. And I mean, that wasn't a class or anything. I just did it. I liked it.
Wait, so you made out with your teachers?
Yeah.
And
it was great.
Nothing?
Nothing. What? I mean, nothing like what? Like I didn't get...
like they didn't get arrested or anything?
I didn't tell... Everyone was doing it. It was...
Really?
It was the...
At Crossroads?
Oh my God! Please don't. Can we?
Yeah.
Now I feel like the person who's like, we gotta.
Okay, sorry.
No, but I think, listen, without giving any names, a lot of people were up to that. It was like, you know.
Oh, I know. It's free to be you and me.
I loved it. I loved every second.
Okay, so when you had your clinical depression the first time, did they diagnose you? Did they?
Yes.
So your parents were good about taking you to the doctor and not saying just snap out of it, or?
No, after a year of snap out of it, and then so here's the thing: my sister was like she wore her stuff on the outside, being heavy, she couldn't concentrate on anything, and
ADD,
right, that thing. Although at the time it was called hyperactivity.
Right, that's what my mother used to say to me. Judith, you're so hyper. Judith, you're so hyper. Okay.
And my parents were big snap out of it types. Because of course I was a pain in the ass.
Well, also because if you don't suffer, you don't understand it.
Right. And if you do suffer, which I believe maybe they did, they were probably didn't want to pass it along to me, but there I was. Like,
or
that's
admit
what was
it,
happening, you know? And so, anyway, growing up is hard. And I don't want to blame it on them. And frankly, also I just started talking to after a bit of an absence there. So yesterday. Was the first time I spoke to them in a few months. And so I will tell you this, after this year of hell from which I am now emerging, the saddest thing for me was that I didn't know how to navigate the people around me.
Right.
And it turned out to be a very painful year for everybody. So should I ever be facing down a really shitty year again, I think I would...
do it differently.
I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Blindsided.
But you learn from every episode.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. And that's why, getting back to like the good-looking people in high school, if you don't have any friction, it's hard to learn the lessons. Right. But that's what's going on now with the, trigger warnings and stuff. How are you going to learn about the shit that you can't fucking control in life? That's the thing, exactly, right? You have to go through it. So just as I was walking here, I was thinking about the rougher times that I've had in my life, and like, it sounds so trite, but I am grateful. I am grateful.
Right, of course, because you're mature-ish.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
You always wanted to adopt.
Always. So my sister's adopted. My grandfather told me when I was 4. I don't know why he told me, but he did. Right. I'll never forget it. I was on the phone with him, like a phone that was connected to the wall, right?
Yeah,
and then 914-723-1106. That was his phone number.
And my grandmother's was 289-5699.
Isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
How about this? Did you have breakfast this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
I had a thing.
All right.
I had 2 whole wheat waffles, yogurt, and banana.
Ew, really?
Yeah, why?
Why whole wheat? Why bother? Why bother? I mean, if you're going to go for a whole wheat, just have like a,
I don't know. I like them better.
Okay.
They're like the healthier ones.
And do you feel healthier?
Not really. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, fuck you, right. Okay, so here's the thing. So my grandfather tells me this, and it wasn't a like, oh, then that's what I'm going to do. There was no sea change. There was no nothing. It was a knowing deep in my gut.
Did you ever feel like she doesn't look like me, or...
No.
Wow.
No. Despite the fact that she makes me insane, we're very fucking close.
That's good.
We've never told on each other, and we did some...
See, that's great. Like, my kids are... I adopted Henry because my ex had him. And then I adopted him, second parent adoption. And I had Ben, and she adopted Ben. And they're not genetically linked at all, but they are such brothers. Like, they're
you
so
had
fucking...
Ben out of your hoo-ha?
Yeah, out of my vagina. Okay.
Did you...
What?
Did you know that they sell vibrators at CVS now next to the register?
So you have to ask for it?
No, it's like an impulse buy. Like next to the the mini hand sanitizers is the...
No, it's a pulse buy. Good night, folks! Yeah. I'll be here all week. Hey, take care! Woo! Okay, so you go to the school, you go to Crossroads, everything's great. You're like, okay, fine. How did you get out of I'm just curious because I'm very into depression. Like, how'd you get out of the 11-year-old depression?
I'll tell you exactly. My parents... made me seek very heavy treatment, which I hated.
What kind was it? It wasn't CBT because that wasn't around.
No, but it was, it was like on drugs and therapy every 10 seconds, and it was. I hated I hated everything about it. Frankly.
Right.
So I was like, well, if I just pretend to
be happy, yeah,
then I can stop being treated. And you know what? What it did was gave me a line of bullshit that I could run all over the place until one day, it's like that story about the sad guy who puts the mask on and he's happy. And then I
put on a happy face.
Kind of. I hate to say it, but kind of.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. But I remember very distinctly, all the way up until I was like in college, that I was assumed that I was like, this is, again, it's going to sound terribly dramatic, but like a runner going around a reservoir of just sadness. And that was it. And that was that. And then I had my heart broken by a boy. And,
yeah.
Still hate him. And went to India and followed my, whatever.
Right. And how old were you when this happened?
That was 21.
Okay. We're still in fucking 11. I'm saying 11. You go all the way to 21.
All the way over here. Sorry. Repeat the question.
No, I just said how they treated the...
Yeah, okay, right. So there I was, and so by the time I started 6th grade, I was like out of the woods just because I was sick of talking about it.
Right.
And everybody treated me like queen of the universe because I was so much improved from the year before.
Right.
And then day after my 6th grade graduation, we moved to LA, which was... I was...
And you had to say goodbye to all your friends. Was it really dramatic?
Yeah.
I know.
But, and in a pre-Facebook world... I mean, pre, right?
Right.
So what was it, 85, 6?
Right, and the only way is to call them, but it's long distance, so it's really expensive.
Right.
Or write letters.
Right? Can you imagine writing a letter?
I still write.
To who?
I write thank you notes, and my friends, or if my friends are sick, I'll write them letters, and it's just, and you know what? People thank me.
Yeah, it's great, right? Yeah. It's great, but I will say this, that... Anyway, whatever. So that's what happened, and I got to LA, and then I seemed happy, and things were going well. And then,
Okay. So, all right. Were there a lot of kids at your bat mitzvah?
Yes, there were. And you want to hear a terrible thing? As I was writing out the candle lighting dedications, I mean, there was like, let's say 30 girls. I forgot one. Denise Ross, and she was in hysterics. And it wasn't that I didn't like her, I just fucking forgot.
So what'd you say to her?
I'm so terribly sorry. Have this Manischewitz wine. Let's get wasted.
Oh my God.
It didn't go. You want to hear something else that terrible that happened?
Yeah.
I got a bad haircut the day before. So I had hair like, pretty and I ended up like a boy. I looked like a boy, a tranny in this pink taffeta dress and short hair. It was the worst. I looked like a.
Did you scream and cry at your mother?
Of course, screamed and cried.
Right. Well, here's I had very few kids at my bat mitzvah, because they were so fucking mean to me. But my mother would not have a big party. She was like, the big parties it's not about that, it's about the
Except it is, though.
Right, but it really my parents were born in 1916 and 1922.
Okay.
So they had so my brother had a brunch after his bar mitzvah at the house. My sister
at the house?
Yeah.
What's the point?
And my sister had dessert at the synagogue after hers. And I had the big one. We had dinner before at the synagogue and then dessert after.
All at the synagogue?
All at the
One
synagogue.
Stop shop.
And no pictures because you couldn't take pictures because it was Shabbat. So, so my mother was very into it. It was my first performance. I loved it. I loved it. But it was like these fucking girls were so mean to me. And, I wouldn't. One girl, I'll never forget, I was walking down the street and she stops. She's in the car with her mother. She's like, Judith, because everyone called me Judith. And this was February. My bat mitzvah was in November, and she was in my Hebrew school class. And she was like, "Are you planning on inviting me to your bat mitzvah? Because I'm sending out my invitations, and I wasn't going to invite you unless you." Yeah, this is the shit.
What was her name?
I don't want to say it.
I said Denise Ross. Say it.
Lori Blunter.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's look her up.
No.
Let's go get her.
I can't.
Wait, that's the show. You and I
want to do a show. I want to do a show where kids get to meet their bullies and tell them off.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
Let's do that.
Okay. Anyway,
Judge Judy.
Right. Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
And she's my girlfriend's cousin. Okay, take care.
Dead or alive?
Who? My girlfriend?
Judge Judy.
Judge Judy's alive.
Sorry.
She's young and hip. All right. Anyway, so then did you go to college?
Ish.
Okay.
I went to Boston University for 2 years.
Wow. That's a good... You were... How'd you fucking get in when you're saying you didn't even go to class? Smart. Did you do well on your SATs?
No. 1100.
Oh, I got lower than that.
Really?
Yes. I could not take... But I was number 31 in my class. Go.
You were number 31 in your class? How about this? When I was taking the... How do you even know that?
Because they did. We had like 350 kids.
Where?
In New Jersey.
Huh.
And I just remember them writing the number down. I was like, oh my God, I'm in the top 10%.
But the poor person in the bottom, why would they ever do that?
Well, it was like, if you were in your top 10%, you put it on your college app.
But did they list it for everybody to see?
No, you just found out. No, they didn't list it.
Fascinating. Did you have presidential fitness?
Oh, worst fucking shit. Fuck it, because I can't do a pull-up. You can't do. And I'm fucking 6 feet tall in 8th grade, and I'm gonna do a fucking pull-up and 800 sit-ups, and it's like fuck you.
And they fucking the names,
right? And what about how they used to call you down, then they'd measure and weigh you in front of everyone.
The worst.
And I was 6 feet tall, and they would be like, Bigfoot, and it was torture. It was fucking torture.
What is wrong with people? So much, right?
Yeah, weighing, and those uniforms.
The uniforms were ass. You know what? So for as crappy as our world is these days, I have to say at least we're not doing that shit
Right,
anymore.
we're a little more,
everyone...
quote unquote, woke. Okay. So you go to Boston University for 2 years.
2 years.
Studying what?
Communications.
Right, okay.
I was a bouncer at the nightclub in town because I'm not going to be bored these 2 years.
Right.
Anyway, then I had my heart broken, so I went to India for a year.
Your junior year?
Yeah, I spent my junior year in India.
Did you study there, or you?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, getting credits.
Yes, through Long Island University, because they had a program called Friends World College, which was hippie, Quaker.
And your mother and father were like, okay, go to India?
They gave zero craps as long as I stayed in college.
Oh, that's good.
So that happened, and then I moved to Brazil for my senior year.
Wow.
And,
do you speak Spanish?
Well, here's the thing. I'm lazy, and everyone wanted to learn English, so I was like, go ahead.
Right.
And so I didn't speak a word.
Okay. Brazil, beautiful, right?
The greatest.
My piano teacher was from one of my piano teachers from Brazil, and Jewish. Go.
Yes, the oldest synagogue I think in South America
is in Brazil,
of all things. Okay, so I went there. Great. If I had it to do over again, I would have not done the 2 years in Boston because it was a waste of time.
Right.
I would like to be out in the world and learning shit. But
right.
As a kid, you don't know. Right.
So you graduate.
Right. I graduate, and my mom's cousin was starting a show on Ziff Davis television about the internet. Well,
wow, what year is this?
1994.
Wow.
Right. So
OJ, baby.
Yeah, I was sure. Stop! You stayed my thoughts. I was just going to say the only thing I remember about that job was watching the OJ thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where were you? It was the greatest. That actually is the thing that got me really interested in news. Was that and then the Hale-Bopp comet. Remember that with the people who got castrated and they were all wearing Nike shoes?
Yeah.
Right. So I saw those two things on television. I was like, television's great. Maybe I could be a reporter.
But you were in a rock band, right?
Yes.
Wait, you're up at... Did you go to San Francisco after Brazil?
Yeah, so what happened was I graduated from Brazil. I don't know what I'm going to do. My mom's cousin said, do a job for me. And so I went there.
Jewish, the cousin?
Gary Kay. May he rest in peace as of last week. By the way,
sorry, Gary.
Isn't everybody
everyone dies in January. Everyone fucking dies. My uncle just died last week. Thank you.
May he rest in peace.
Uncle
is he
Bernie.
Gary? Oh.
Uncle Bernie. And my sister had the funniest line because it was like minus 4,000 degrees. And she said to my brother, at least our parents had the courtesy of dying in the summertime. Okay.
But, by the way, and just a little side note on this, I would very much like to start a funeral business because they don't have to be sad and awful the way they are. You know what I mean? I don't go anymore. I really, literally do not attend family funerals.
I want mine to be hilarious. I've told friends, can you tell the story at my funeral? Because I want it to be fucking hilarious.
So what if we pre-produced?
But my friend Judy told, God rest her soul, it was the fucking funniest memorial service ever. I mean, I've been to comedians' memorial services, and they're hilarious. My friend Bob Smith, hilarious, but we cried too. But like, you know,
you want people to be sad you're gone, but at the same time have a blast.
Celebrate.
Yes, and everybody say that.
Celebrate. All right, so
and on this idea, what if we put your ashes with fireworks and then
okay, Jews don't get cremated, but
whatever.
I'm thinking like I'm not gonna whatever. I don't know what. So wait, so you go to San Francisco.
Go to San Francisco,
and you're in a rock band. What do you play?
Of course, I'm this singer.
I thought so. But even though you play ukulele now.
I do play ukulele.
Talk in the fucking mic. Okay, go.
Like this. I'm not really so good at playing music, although I will say my vocals have gotten a lot better since I moved to Coney Island, because what I do is I go out on the beach and sing my fucking face off every morning.
And there's moisture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good for your voice, terrible for your Jewy joints.
Right.
I wake up in pain every day.
Oh, please.
Oh, my, right?
I have a knee replacement. Go ahead.
You do?
Yes.
Do you love it?
No.
Well, better than the old one?
It's much better. The other one needs to be replaced really bad, but I fell on my knee replacement 2 weeks ago because, you know, it still is killing me. There's, it's bruised. Now the bruise has moved down my leg. It's like, you can never go on your knees again. Like, you can never, like, it's horrible. But I can walk. I can straighten my leg out. I can't straighten the other one out. Okay, go.
I am so sorry about that.
Thank you.
By the way, old Jews. The Alta Caucus Complainer Corner. That's what we are. Yep. Okay, so.
And by the way, to the listeners, I'm sorry for the bell, but this is a really Jewy podcast. Okay, do you need anything? Okay, go.
Right. So we're about to do our Haftorah portions.
Yeah.
That would be so funny.
I don't remember. We should do a night of where people read their bat mitzvah speeches.
Oh my God! That's so good. That's so good.
Oh my God!
Like celebrity autobiography, but better.
Oh
You're
my God!
Genius. You're a genius.
I'm doing that.
Let's do. Yeah. Who can you call? Who are your people?
Oh my God!
This is the best fucking idea.
I know. I don't know where mine is, but I'll find it.
Mine was about the Exodus, and my mother rewrote it because I wrote one that she thought sucked. So I ended up having to deliver hers.
Oh my God, we're doing this.
This is so good.
Okay, go.
It's like from Hamilton. So we're doing this.
Right.
Are you a Hamilton nutcase too?
Not that bad. Go.
Okay.
But I loved it. Go.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so what happened? So
you're in the rock band.
Oh, right. So I'm fat because I'm drinking my face off and I'm eating
like
pizza.
Fat to you. What is fat to you?
No, I think I was definitely, it's like size 14 versus now, and I'm.
What are you, a 6? 4?
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I'm now a 6, but
I'm a 16 now. I was a 12. I was a 10, 12. Now I'm a 16.
I think they changed the way they do the numbers. I think you're the same.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
If they change it, then no. And sometimes I'm an 18. No, I got the whole this fucking. Yes, I can't.
I know.
But I'm also big. Like I'm a big. I was always big. I did my DNA. I'm supposed to be bigger.
Wait, DNA says that?
Yeah, they say your weight would be 10% more than usual, and that I'm prone to drink a lot of coffee, which I do. The 23andMe. Yes, 97% Ashkenazi Jew.
What's the other 3% black?
I wanted to be black so bad.
Yeah, I see
like, but I'm Neanderthal.
You're not.
Yeah.
And you have a hot wife.
Asian, yeah, and something. What the fuck else was I? I don't know. But anyway, so
Can I tell you an amazing story about 23andMe? Just my sister, adopted. Somebody got her free in 23andMe.
Oh yeah.
Right. So my sister identifies very strongly with being Jewish. She's with an Israeli guy. The whole thing. So she does the 23andMe, finds out. Meets the uncle, whatever, right? So she learns about her birth story, blah blah blah. Anyway, so my sister's all pro-Israel, I guess, on her Facebook. Her biological half sister, Palestinian. Wears the hijab, lives over there.
No way.
So the uncle leans into my sister and is like, "Hey, if you ever want to meet this other girl, you gotta dial it back." And she's like, "Hell no."
Right.
So P.S. through 23andMe, she's now like quasi met and then not met and never gonna meet the sister because they both have differing opinions on Israel.
Yeah, that's a hard thing.
That's also like put down your guns,
right,
and just meet once.
Wait, so is she Jewish too?
Yep.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Yes.
Okay. So
one more for us. Okay, so what happened? So I'm in San Francisco, drunken fat whore, sleeping with the whole city.
Right.
By the way, straight person, drunken fat singer, not the best place to be when I was in San Francisco in my 20s. Everybody else was either gay and paired up or a banker and lived in Cow Hollow. And I was...
What part of San Francisco did you live in?
I lived in the Haight. And where else was I going to live? It's so cliche, right?
Yeah.
But I did love it. I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. And I had bleach blonde hair and was friends with this little upcoming band called No Doubt. And this girl called Gwen Stefani. And we were getting ready for one of her shows. And she looked at my hair. She's like, maybe I should do my hair blonde. And I feel like she owes me billions. Because I remember telling her, shit, or get off the pot, Gwen.
Right.
And now,
obviously she's going to thank you in the next speech. Okay. So then you're there for how long?
I'm there until I got evicted from my apartment for, you're going to love this, rock and roll Sabbaths. I had these incredible open door Sabbaths every Friday night with themes, okay? So we do like a white trash Sabbath and everyone would come dressed up and we all drank and I mean, it was the craziest and I got evicted because of that.
Wow.
Yep. And I was a traffic reporter for KGO News Talk FM and No Sense of Direction, and it all kind of went south at the same time. So I came to New York, where a year to the day after I moved here, I met my now husband, and then September 11th happened. Of course.
How'd you meet your husband?
He picked me up at a party where I thought I was the hottest thing going because I was a traffic reporter on New York One.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll back up. So I got evicted. I got evicted from
No, you can tell the story of, because then I'll go back to your career. Go.
Okay, okay, fine. So I'm the, I'll never forget it. It was August 22nd, and
What year?
2001.
Right.
Went to a party.
And by the way, Ben was born August 9th, 2001.
You're kidding.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, so it was what a weird time to bring a baby into the world.
And he had... September 11th was the first day Henry got on the bus by himself to go to school. So I had to go yeah. And then 2 days later, Ben gets some horrible disease, like horrible high fever and some sort of virus. And we end up at NYU Medical Center where the morgue is. And the papers, like the just pictures of people all over, missing. That was the worst. And we were in the hospital. He had to get a spinal tap, and I stayed in the hospital because I was breastfeeding. And plus I would never fucking leave. But I remember going in and saying, "Is it busy?" And they're like, "No." And then every time someone walked down the hall with like their thing, the thing that holds the IV.
Yeah.
And I heard the noise. I was like, oh my God, we're getting it. It was horrible. People, it's like, yeah, okay.
That was the worst. That was the worst thing about, I mean, there were so many worse things, but the visual and the experience.
These fucking people's stories. Horrible. Okay.
Oh, that was a terrible time.
Terrible.
And every year... Still on 9/11,
and everyone's like, don't do the names anymore. Fuck you.
What do you mean, don't do the names?
Fuck you.
Right, watch something on Netflix.
Right.
Well, let the news read the names.
Right. Okay. Jeez. So and we liked George Bush for 5 seconds. Okay.
Do you remember that?
I remember as a comic because it was so hard to do stand up after, and the clubs had closed, and then they started doing stand up. I mean, thank God for Saturday Night Live. That broke the whole thing.
Was it that? And the Daily Show also, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that?
And that these people had acknowledged it, but it was because fuckface Giuliani went on SNL and said, we can laugh. I'm giving you permission to laugh. But who knew he would turn into fucking psycho mental patient? But I remember the club, and we all had to drop our George Bush jokes.
Wow.
Yeah. Because everyone was like, we're united, and he's not an idiot.
Except that, but
all right.
Sorry, I shouldn't change around. Except that, do you remember your first joke after that or any other great national tragedy that you felt okay delivering and getting laughter for?
I don't. I really don't. I have to think about that. That's
would be an interesting project too. A documentary, like the first.
What was the first joke?
Yeah. Right. What was the first joke? Because I have to imagine, even if you can say something that's funny, receiving laughs at a time like that must have been challenging.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Because you just had a pit in your stomach the whole fucking time. And you felt guilty for laughing. Especially in New York City. You know? Because you were surrounded.
Yeah. I remember standing on street corners singing Amazing Grace, like arms around people, and nobody thought it was weird. Now,
I remember,
cut me off on my way into the subway and I'll fucking kick your ass.
Right. But also the smell. And I remember the daycare center was closed and all the parents were like, what do we do? And we all met in Central Park. And just had a picnic with all the kids on September 12th because we were like, what do we do? What the fuck? You didn't know what the fuck to do. I remember also how silent the skies. It was so quiet because there was no air traffic. You know,
I do.
I can't even. All right, we
can't. West Village, and I can still taste. It was like
that smell was the. Okay.
We're the funniest people on earth.
Hi, welcome to Kill Me Now, a really funny podcast.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself. You can process and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it and you sit there and you wait. And then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
All right, you're in the band, and then you moved to New York.
I moved to New York. I live in the West Village.
And you were an airborne traffic reporter for KGOAM in San Francisco before you left? Mm-hmm. How'd you get that job?
I stalked the person at traffic. I became a 27-year-old intern at a newsroom.
Right.
Didn't feel smart enough to tell the news, so I was like, well, what can I do?
And you were in the helicopter?
It was a Cessna plane.
And you would look down and talk about the traffic?
Yes.
Like, do a traffic thing for me.
I'll tell you right now, because I have no sense of direction.
All right,
and that's real. So I'd be like, hey, the line at In-N-Out Burger is just starting to
No, wait.
Yeah, that was it, because I didn't know any direction. So I was like...
Were they like, this was a news station and they let you do like In-N-Out Burgers really busy?
Yeah, because I was doing the wrong traffic. I gave the wrong traffic. And then...
How long did you work there?
Well, here's what happened was the light changed. So it was daylight savings. It started to get darker earlier. So all my landmarks went away because I couldn't see. So it was a matter of months and it wasn't going well. But then I started doing this like comedy. Like I was doing,
you were funny.
So I would always be the kicker.
That's great.
For a few months. And then I got evicted. So I came to New York.
And you got a job at New York One.
Yep. I was a traffic reporter there.
And is this when New York One had just started?
It had started a little bit ago, but they didn't have video. So it was just my voice over maps.
Oh,
literally,
right.
Rail and Road Report.
The Rail and Road Report. That's hilarious.
And I'll tell you what. Well,
And how long did you do that for?
I did that, I think, for about a year.
Right.
Also,
and were you still sucky at it?
Yeah, so sucky, in fact, that I ended up losing that job. But what that did was allow me to go to like reporter school on Long Island, and then
you got a job at Queens reporting the news at WRNN TV.
Yes,
and you were on the TV.
I was on the TV, but I was a one-woman newsroom, and actually before I was in Queens, I was the mall reporter at the Palisades Mall.
No way.
And I would have to do a story on my own, out in the field every day, shoot it, or the whole thing.
That is hilarious.
And the thing that they had behind me, like the fake newsroom, was black and white, like that. It was in black and white. So
oh
it was
my
supposed
God!
To look like
But so it was a local.
Yeah.
Did people recognize you from that? Like when you were walking around Queens?
Not really. Not really. But I'll tell you what. One person recognized my voice when I was at a news conference.
Wow.
And then that gave me my job at NYC TV because he loved my voice from the Rail and Road Report. And he turns around and he goes, "Are you Cat Greenleaf? Where have you been?"
No way.
That day changed my life. I'll never forget it.
So then you got a lifestyle segment on the Prowl.
On the Prowl with Cat Greenleaf.
And what would you do?
Bar, local, I'm sorry, I know I'm sucking at this right now because it was so long ago, but like I would do funny things. I would do like, man in the street shit, or I would do the local Denim and Diamonds bar. You can do line dancing in Manhattan, or this guy does food delivery on his pedicab, and or whatever that thing was. And I loved that, mostly because I really had a lot of free reign there. And it was from there that when another national tragedy happened, Katrina, I jumped on a bus with a camera and went down to film it, where I met a reporter from WNBC who then ended up helping me get the job.
Who was the reporter?
Andrew Siff. Totally.
That's the only reason I asked.
Right. And he, and I, by the way, in turn, introduced him to his now wife.
What's her name? Dawn
Weiner.
Okay, so you became a features reporter.
Yep, on the morning show.
On the morning shows. Today, Today Show.
Yeah.
And the 11 o'clock news.
Correct.
And were you on every day?
2 days a week.
And did you get to pick what features you were going to do?
I did. Once again, given a lot of free reign. I think because I started my career older, so it wasn't like I was a 21-year-old reporter.
Older?
I was a 27-year-old intern in San Francisco.
Right. So you're in your 30s at this point. Is that correct?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm in my 30s, and so deep into my 30s.
And 30s is not old, by the way.
No, but in the newsroom.
No, in the vagina and breasts situation, you are old because you're a woman, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. But you want to hear something? And I had never really thought about this until you just put it that way. I never wanted to birth a baby, and so I wonder if that's why I didn't mind waiting to start my family. I always knew 37. I didn't want to start till 37.
Right.
And because I had no biological clock telling me otherwise, I guess that's what made it okay.
Yeah.
Does that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like, I
didn't, but you're also Ashkenazi Jew, and we can have babies late in life.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, my mother was in 1962.
Yeah.
She's over 40 and pregnant.
And fine.
And she has a gigantic baby. But, my sister was 40, either 41 and 42 or 42 and 43 when she had her kids. Yeah, a lot of 38.
Okay.
Almost 39. And then Wendy Wasserstein was really old.
Like without all the shots.
No, yeah, without the... But yeah, and my aunt was also in her 40s. I mean, it's Ashkenazi Jew. Like, we get our periods till we're like 60 years old.
This is why we're the chosen.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, chosen.
Look at how chosen we are.
Complain.
Right, to be miserable.
So you're you're the features reporter on WNBC.
Yes.
How long do you do that before you decide you create this amazing show?
I'll tell you exactly what happened. So I'm there. Let's see. If I got that job, when was Katrina?
2005.
Okay. So let's say I got to NBC around 2000. You said it was 2005?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2006 I get there and so I'm the features reporter, trusted commodity in the newsroom.
Right. And are you married?
Yeah. Yes. Right.
When did you get married?
In 2003.
And did you have a huge wedding? Huge.
I had 2 weddings.
Why?
Because my friends were poor. We were poor, and I didn't want to ask them to fly out to Santa Barbara where my parents lived.
That's so nice.
Thank you. And so what we did was no gifts, and everyone paid $27, and we went to Brooklyn Borough Hall, and we got married, and the lady yelled at us. She hated us because we brought 40 people to the thing.
Oh, fuck them.
Totally fuck them. But she's still out there marrying people. Anyway, and
now she can marry gay people.
I believe she might have been a little gay herself.
Oh, well, now maybe she's nicer now. Wait, so you had the wedding with your parents?
No, wait. So we had the wedding on October 10th, 2003 in Brooklyn.
10-10 wins.
10-10 wins. Give us 10 seconds.
Give us 10 seconds. We'll give you the world. No, you won't. You're not going to, it's 10 seconds, and he's not going to tell me the fucking world.
Right. And shame on you if you think that in 10 seconds you know the world.
Fucking assholes.
Fucking sounds like a millennial
scumbags.
to me.
Go.
So then what happened was, so I get married, and a week later I get married in Santa Barbara. However, let me just tell you something. I was so wasted the night before my wedding, that my second wedding, so I was really already married, that when I woke up in the morning, I was so grateful that I was actually already married, because I saw in my now husband's face the night before that would have been over.
Really?
I went careening down
Why do you
flight of
think
steps.
you got so wasted?
Because I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I don't drink anymore.
Oh, all right.
Just celebrated 4 years.
Oh, Mazel Tov! Happy birthday to you.
Now there's silver in my cup.
So you get married with your family. Like, is it only your family, or were there some friends from
It was like my rich friends who could afford to go
and
out there.
then was it in a big hall?
It was at my parents' golf club.
Oh God, I can't.
I know. And in my mom's dress that she got for $99 off the rack at Loman's.
Oh my God, Loman's!
In the background.
Rest in peace.
Right, but of course, she took every opportunity to be like, "You're gonna have to let it out. It's a little. It's pulling. It's pulling."
Oh
Which
God.
It was, because I'm a person. Anyway, so that happened.
Okay, and Rabbi?
No, my husband's not Jewish.
I know, but what the fuck? So what kind of wedding was it? What was it? Nothing? Was it a judge?
Lex. No, his name was Lex. My dad probably found him on officiant.com, and he was a Unitarian. And there's no show with Unitarians. They're not funny. They're not. It wasn't fun. But then my dad sings Sunrise Sunset, and everyone cries.
Is he a good singer?
He's great.
Oh.
And then my father-in-law got up and gave a treatise on the politics of Eastern Europe back in the day and the thing, and everyone was passing out, except I just have to tell you, I loved my father-in-law. He passed away, but I loved him, and even though he gave that weird
what was it? What was it about the Holocaust?
Something about the Holocaust.
That's great to bring up at a wedding.
It was pretty good, yeah. It was a real laugh riot. And then my dad closes it up with Sunrise Sunset.
Sunrise. 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise. All right, so...
Oh, that's what happened right at the wedding. The guy yelled, Mazel Tov. And the whole crowd cracked up. They're like, Mazel Tov.
Did they lift you in the chair and everything? And do the... All right.
I've never seen my parents so happy.
Right. Wow.
Get the fuck
and
out
they
of our
love
face.
him?
Yeah, they love him.
All right.
Don't forget to tune in next week to Just Kill Me Now.
It's Just Kill Me.
Oh. Don't forget to turn for part 2 on Just Kill Me.
No, it's not. It's
Just Kill Me.
No.
Judy Gold's Just Kill Me.
Kill me now.
Just Kill Me Now.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.